Pick that up.
In a night that no one saw coming, the Indiana Fever sent shockwaves through the WNBA, and they did it without their biggest star, Caitlin Clark. Yes, you heard that right. Caitlin Clark. The rookie phenom who's been the face of the Fever and arguably the league all season, wasn't even on the court. And yet Indiana didn't just survive, they dominated. The Chicago Sky, led by Angel Reese, came into this game thinking they could take advantage of Clark's absence. But instead, they were handed a humiliating loss. And at the center of it all was Lexie Hull, a player often overlooked in the headlines.
Obviously we lost our last two, but I don't know, that LA one felt good for us because we didn't quit. And then, life happened the other night at the Valley, so we could have looked at it like, oh, woe is me, and, we don't have enough players, and we didn't. So shout out to our group for just staying confident and staying ready because, it's a professional league and we have to be ready and we can't make too many excuses about it because no one's going to hand us anything. So we might as well look at it for what it is and keep showing up.
Who went absolutely red hot and lit up the scoreboard. Tonight, we're breaking down everything that happened. The drama, the highlights, the trash talk, and the growing rivalry between Angel Reese and the Fever. This is the full story of how Lexie Hull and the Fever demolished the Chicago Sky without Caitlin Clark. The Caitlin Clark shockwave. Before we get into the game itself, let's set the stage. The news broke just hours before tip-off. Caitlin Clark would be unavailable due to a minor injury. Fever fans were worried. Chicago Sky fans were excited. Sports commentators started writing the Fever off before the game even began. On social media, the reaction was instant. Fever fans, without Caitlin, we don't stand a chance. Sky fans, this is our game to take. Angel Reese is about to eat. Media, expect a major drop in Fever scoring without their superstar. And honestly, those takes made sense. Caitlin Clark has been responsible for a massive chunk of Indiana's offense this season, not to mention the attention she draws from defenses. Without her, the question was, who steps up? Well, Lexie Hull had the answer. Lexie Hull's explosion. From the opening tip, Lexie Hull looked locked in. The first possession? She came off a screen, caught the ball at the top of the arc, and drained a three. Nothing but net. The crowd erupted, almost in disbelief. 2 minutes later, she drove hard to the basket, absorbed contact, and finished the layup for an and one. By the end of the first quarter, she had 12 points, more than the entire Sky starting lineup combined. But it wasn't just the scoring. It was her energy. Diving for loose balls, clapping in opponents' faces, hyping up her teammates. Lexie wasn't just playing well. She was making a statement. We can win without Caitlin. Angel Reese's struggles. Meanwhile, Angel Reese had a rough start. The Fever's defense swarmed her in the paint. Every time she touched the ball, she had at least 2 defenders collapsing on her. She missed her first 4 shots and started getting visibly frustrated. Midway through the second quarter, after a missed layup, Reese clapped her hands angrily and barked at the referee for a foul call. The Chicago bench was trying to calm her down. But it was clear the Fever's strategy was working. Get in Reese's head early, and the rest would follow. The rivalry heats up. If you've been following the WNBA this season, you know there's no love lost between Angel Reese and the Indiana Fever. It all started in earlier matchups where Reese and Caitlin Clark exchanged words and hard fouls. Since then, every Fever Sky game has carried playoff-level intensity. Tonight was no different. Even without Clark, the emotions were running high. At one point in the second quarter, Reese and Fever forward Nalissa Smith got tangled up after a rebound. Words were exchanged. The crowd roared. The refs had to separate them. This wasn't just a basketball game, and it was personal. Fever's team game. What made this Fever victory so special was that it wasn't just Lexie Hull, the whole team stepped up. Nalissa Smith dominated the glass, pulling down 14 rebounds and scoring key putbacks. Kelsey Mitchell slashed into the lane and kept the Sky defense on its heels. Even the Fever's bench players came in and hit big shots. Every time Chicago tried to mount a comeback, someone from Indiana hit a dagger. By halftime, the Fever led 52-38, and the Sky looked shell-shocked.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Lexie Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
Lexie Hull turns it up. If you thought Lexie Hull's first half was impressive, the second half was even better. She came out firing as hitting back-to-back threes in the third quarter that brought the crowd to its feet. She was pulling up in transition, hitting contested shots, and smiling the whole way down the court. The ESPN commentary team even started joking that Lexie was channeling her inner Caitlin Clark with the way she was scoring from everywhere. By the end of the third, she had 27 points, and the Fever were up by 20. Angel Reese's frustration boils over. Angel Reese did her best to rally the sky, but it was one of those nights where nothing was falling. She finished the third quarter with just 6 points, on 3 of 14 shooting. The frustration was written all over her face. After a missed jumper, she slapped the padding under the basket in anger. The Chicago bench tried to encourage her, but the body language said it all. The Sky were beaten. The closing moments. The fourth quarter was all about sealing the deal. Lexie Hull now sitting at 30 points. Checked back in with about 6 minutes left. The crowd wanted more, and she delivered, hitting one final three-pointer that sent the arena into chaos. The Fever fans started chanting, "Let's go Fever!" and "No Caitlin, no problem." When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read, Indiana Fever 89, Chicago Sky 64. Lexie Hull finished with a career-high 33 points, 6 rebounds and 4 steals. It was a performance for the ages. Post-game reactions. In the post-game press conference, Lexie Hull was all smiles. When asked about her mindset, she said, "We knew people doubted us without Caitlin. We took that personally. We wanted to prove that this is a team, not just one player. And we did that tonight." Angel Reese, on the other hand, kept her answers short. When asked about her shooting struggles, she simply said, "Shots didn't fall. We'll bounce back." But the tension was obvious. Reese didn't make eye contact with reporters for most of the session. What this means for the Fever. This game was more than just a win, it was a statement. The Indiana Fever proved they can win without Caitlin Clark. That doesn't mean they're better without her. Obviously, Clark is a generational talent, but it does mean that the rest of the roster is capable of stepping up in big moments. For Lexie Hull, this was the breakout game she's been waiting for. Expect her confidence and her minutes to skyrocket after this performance. The WNBA fallout. The WNBA world took notice. Social media lit up with praise for Lexie Hull. ESPN, Bleacher Report, and SportsCenter all ran highlights of her three-pointers. Fans started joking that Lexie Hull just entered her villain era. And the Caitlin Clark storyline? It only adds fuel to the fire. If the Fever can win like this without her, what happens when she's back and healthy? For Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, it's back to the drawing board. This was a humbling loss, and one that will sting for a while. He knew Fever identity. So here's the bottom line. The Indiana Fever just sent a message to the rest of the league. Don't underestimate us, even without Caitlin Clark. Lexie Hull's career night will be remembered as one of the defining moments of this season. And with the playoffs approaching, the Fever's confidence is sky high. As for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, let's just say the rematch is going to be must-watch television. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another WNBA update. Because if this game taught us anything, the drama is just getting started.